Algebra 2, this is lesson 3.1 and 3.2 review in preparation for your quiz. On lesson 3.1, the answer to number 1 is 2, 1. The answer to number 2 is 2, 1. The answer to number 3 is 3, negative 3. The answer to number 4 is negative 2, 1. The answer to number 5 is 2, negative 2. The answer to number 6 is 1, 1. The answer to number 7 is 1/2, or you may have used 0.5, negative 3. Number 8 is 10, 8. Number 9 is infinitely many. Number 10 is no solution. Number 11 is 1, 1. Number 12 is 1/3, 2/3. I will be working that one for you in just a minute. Number 13 is 6, negative 5. Number 14 is negative 2, 3. Number 15 is no solution. And number 16, I'll be working for you in just a minute, but it's 12 socks and 15 shorts. Then on lesson 3.2, I have no way to show you the graphs for you to check, but you'll be able to know whether you're doing it correctly or not based on the answers for 7, 8, and 9. Number 7 is 1, 0, 3, 2, 3, negative 2. Number 8 is negative 2, 4, negative 2, negative 4, and 2, 0. And number 9 is negative 3, 4, 3/2, or you may have 1.5, 1, and 3, 4. Okay, if you will look with me at number 12 on lesson 3.1, the instructions for that section say solve each system of equations, and in the lesson I showed you can solve them by elimination or you could solve them by substitution. On ones like number 12, when they're given to me in that format, I always do elimination. That does not mean that's the only way. I just think that elimination is the easier method. There are 2 equations. You can eliminate m's or you can eliminate p's. It doesn't matter because m's have a positive and a negative and p's have a negative and positive. As long as you have 2 different signs, you're great. I'm going to get rid of m's. So that means I need to multiply this bottom equation by 4 and the top equation by 3, because to determine what to multiply this one by, I look at the other m. And to determine what to multiply this one by, I look at the coefficient of the other m. So now let's do the multiplication. 3 times 4m is 12m. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6p. And 3 times 0 is 0. Most often when students have a mistake on this, it's because they did not multiply everything by the number that they're multiplying by. Second equation has 4 times negative 3 is negative 12m. 4 times 9 is 36p. And 4 times 5 is 20. When you combine these, sure enough, the m's cancel. So we've got negative 6p plus 36p, which gives us 30p. equals 0 plus 20 is 20. Divide both sides by 30. So P equals 2/3 because the 20 over 30 will reduce. Now I need to find M. I can use either equation to find M, but I'm going to use the second one. Why? I just picked it. There is no specific reason, I just did. So we have negative 3M plus 9P equals 5. I would encourage you to go back to the original two equations rather than using the modified ones in case you make a mathematical error. Anyway, back to what we're doing. Negative 3M plus 9 times, and P is 2/3. So negative 3M, and on your calculator, if you'll do 9 times 2/3, you'll find out that that's a 6 equals 5. Subtract 6 from both sides. Negative 3M equals negative 1. Now divide both sides by negative 3. So M equals 1/3. When they have letters other than X and Y, the standard convention, and by that I mean the most accepted or preferred notation, is to put them in alphabetical order. So M would come first because it's in the alphabet before P. So then our answer written as an ordered pair would be 1/3, comma, 2/3, which is the same answer I gave you just a moment ago. Okay, if you will look at number 16 on the same homework, because I know how much you love word problems. Last year, the volleyball team paid $5 per pair of socks and $17 per pair of shorts on a total purchase of $315. This year, they spent $342 to buy the same number of pairs of socks and shorts because the socks now cost $6 a pair and the shorts cost $18 a pair. A says write a system of two equations that represent the number of pairs of socks and shorts bought each year. Well, the first thing we need to do is determine our variables. I commonly just use X and Y. X will be socks, meaning pairs of socks, and Y will be shorts. In the first sentence, it says, last year, the volleyball team paid $5 per pair for socks. So you've got $5 times the number of socks, which is X. And that means we're going to add $17 per pair for shorts. So $17 times the pair of shorts, the number of shorts is Y, equals, and they spent a total purchase of $315. That's one equation. The second equation says this year they spent $342. So $342 to buy the same number of pairs of socks and shorts. So there's still X and Y. So on this time, the socks are $6 a pair, but we're buying the same number of pairs, which is what X was. And the shorts are $18, and we're keeping the same number. Now you have a system of two equations with two unknowns. You can eliminate either letter. I would typically eliminate X because the number is smaller. That's the only reason I would pick it. So, based on what we've done in the past, the first equation needs to be multiplied by the coefficient of this X. So that would be 6. The second equation needs to be multiplied by the coefficient of this X, which is 5. But if you notice, these are both positive, so one of them has to be negative. Which one? It doesn't matter, just make one of them negative. So I'm making the second one negative. Okay, now we're ready to distribute. 6 times 5x is 30x. 6 times 17 is 80. 2. And 6 times 315 is 1,890. Okay. Now, on the second line, we've got negative 5 times 6 is negative 30x. Negative 5 times 18, which is negative 90y. And negative 5 times 342 is negative 1710. So when we combine these, the x's do go away. 102y minus 90y is 12y. 1890 minus 1710 is 180. Divide both sides by 12. So y equals 15. Well, y was shorts, so that means we have 15 pairs of shorts. And we need to find the x value, and we can use either one of the original equations. Let's just do the first one. We have 5x, because we don't know what x is, plus 17 times 15, because we now know what y is, equals 315. So that's 5x plus 255 equals 315. Now subtract 255 from both sides. So 5x equals 60. Divide both sides by 5. So x equals 12. So x was socks, so we have 12 pairs of socks. I know that some of you are not super confident in math, and so you want to be reassured that you have the correct answer. One of the neatest ways to do that is to go back to the original equation. I'm going to erase for just a second so I have a little room to work, because I don't want to lose this whole screen. Okay. We originally used this equation, the top equation to find our x and y. So let's try our answers in the purple equation, or second equation. We'd have 6 times 12, which is 72, plus 18 times 15, which is 270. And when you add 270 plus 72, that's 342, which is the answer we were supposed to get. So that means our answer works in both equations. On questions like this, you won't be able to do an ordered pair because it's a real-life object, so you're going to have to tell me socks and shorts and so on. You should be ready for quiz 3.1 and 3.2 at this time. If you are still a little shaky or unsure of solving by graphing, you may want to watch lesson 3.3 before you take this quiz, because lesson 3.3 reinforces solving by graphing. Good luck on the quiz.